What's going on, guys? This is Drake Shot Plays. I just wanted to say thank you so much for always keeping up to date with me on this channel. We're still doing video game content, but I am going to be moving into my other passions in life outside of video gaming as well. Now, I don't want the people that follow the video game content to feel like I'm not producing content for them. But really, I just get bored of doing the same thing. So I want to do a lot more with my YouTube channel. So I will be reviewing this beautiful Fender Meteora Blue. It's called Bel Air Blue, made by Fender. So I will be reviewing this guitar on the channel, and I'll be reviewing several other guitars on the channel as well. And I will also be talking about the sport that I'm very passionate about, which is mixed martial arts. A lot of UFC events I like to watch, but I do watch PFL. I do watch a few other MMA stuff. So it's not just UFC content, but I'm going to be talking about things that I'm passionate about as well. So I'd like you guys to join with me on that, even if you are just a video game guy or video game girl. I really love all your guys' support on my passions. This guitar is beautiful. I'm getting a custom pick guard made for it. It's going to be a Grand Theft Auto 6 pick guard. I got the art style already drawn up, so I'm going to have a custom guy in Georgia make a beautiful custom pick guard for this guitar because it's just so beautiful. I got this because on Musician's Friend, I was waiting for 6 months for my Fender 20th anniversary guitar. 6 months, and every month they would change the date. Oh, we're not getting it yet. Oh, we're not getting it. I'm like, guys, I can't keep just saving all this money for you. Like, you need to give me the product. And then I saw people on Guitar Center getting their guitar, and I'm like, okay, so I'm never going to Musician's Friend again. I'll never refer a musician to go there again, and I will definitely never buy something off of that website ever again. The customer service was great, but they were all liars. They would tell me one story. They'd say, "Oh, well, Fender hasn't sent it from Japan yet." And then, like literally a month later, I would be on that day. Made sure I'm off of work that day so I can talk to the customer service agent and see if they're going to tell me what date it's going to be shipped. I kept checking every morning that those dates were told to me. So yeah, they just left a bad taste in my mouth, and I'll never recommend them again. This was from Sweetwater, and it's a badass Fender anyway, so I really enjoy it. So shout out to Sweetwater. Screw you, Musician's Friend. Now, if you guys aren't a fan of UFC or mixed martial arts, that's okay. I'd still love you to watch the gaming content. I'm going to be producing a couple music albums as well. I got a metal album written out, and I also have a country album that I'm writing right now. And so I've been playing guitar for 17 years. I got my own recording studio set up, all beautiful. And now's the time to jump on my music. I've always wanted to make music, but I never had the chance to. Now, because I've been working a good job, I'm able to do the things I need to make this music recording a reality. In this small mountain town, there are no recording studios. You literally have to drive an hour away just to go to one recording studio. So I'm turning this into a recording studio. And so far, it's turning out really well. But either way, I'd love you guys to watch the content. I will be setting this beautiful guitar down, and we will be going over UFC Fight Night, Lewis vs. Texeira. Now, if you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe. Share the channel with a friend. Share this video. I really want a lot of people to see it because at the end of the day, I want to do what I'm passionate about. And let's be honest, there's too many people in the video game market to warrant just a YouTube channel just for video games. So I'm going to be talking about stuff that I'm passionate about, and I'm glad that you guys are joining with me. Definitely check out the channels in my recommended on my YouTube page, because a lot of those channels are awesome people that I support with all my heart. Definitely check them out. And let's get into UFC Fight Night, Lewis versus Texeira. Alright. So, I will be talking about the prelims as well, because I like watching the prelims. If you're a fan of the sport and you're just too busy to watch the prelims, I understand. But I always have Saturdays off for the sport. Or I'm working early in the morning on Saturdays, so I can watch the sport. But we got a women's strawweight bout opening up the prelims. U.S. versus Mexico. Fatima Klein versus Melissa Martinez. And that's some crazy odds right there. But never, like, the key word, and this is no offense, ladies, never bet on a woman's fight, because you never know what's going to happen. Some of the girls even get knockouts or finishes. But it's just so hard putting money on that. So I would advise you to just go to decision or straight money line on that. Now, if you go up the next bout, I'm really excited for. Mike Beast Boy Davis versus Mitch Ramirez. Now, I like Beast Boy a lot. He is one bad mofo, and he knows how to submit and knock out people, which I really like. This heavyweight bout, Walter Walker versus Kennedy Nzechukwu. It's a heavyweight bout, but Walter Walker is really good at submissions, and I'll look to bet on him for submission if I was doing a parlay. Alright, right above, we got a women's flyweight bout. Lauren Murphy versus Eduarda Mora. I would go with not betting on this either. Or adding it to a parlay is just a straight decision or money line. I personally think that Eduarda will win, but you never know. A lot of people in the U.S., we have access to some of the best gyms in this country. We have Extreme Couture in Las Vegas. We have Kill Cliff in Florida and ATT in Florida. Those three gyms alone pump out so many awesome fighters and champions. And they have some of the best coaches you can think of. So I wouldn't say that Lauren Murphy doesn't have a chance to win. She definitely does. It's MMA, and that's why I love this sport. Welterweight bout, we got Jake Matthews versus Chidi Njokuani. I like Jake Matthews in this. He's from Australia. A lot of the Australian guys have been winning. A lot of them have been training with Craig Jones and that whole City Kickboxing, all those guys. Even where Volk trains is really good. So I would highly recommend betting on Jake Matthews. Chidi, if he shows up good, he can knock people out like crazy, but sometimes he gets blasted off too. So Max Griffin versus the Action Man Chris Curtis. Now Chris Curtis trains out at Extreme Couture in Las Vegas, and he has probably one of the best coaches in Eric Nixick that you could ever have. Even though Eric Nixick isn't a fighter, he took everything he learned in football and transitioned it over to MMA. And what it means is he knows how to game plan. He knows how to make a game plan for any of his fighters to dominate and win their bouts if they show up that night. So I like Chris Curtis in that. We got a light heavyweight bout, Junior Tafa. Now, Junior Tafa is looking shredded. He was always the skinnier brother. But, man, I like the way he's looking now. And I really expect Junior to take this guy out. Tuco Tokos. And then Vitor Petrino. He got submitted by Anthony Smith via guillotine. but he's facing an absolute glass house in Austin Lane. Respectfully, I'm not saying this disrespectfully, but Austin Lane has been KO'd like 6-7 times, so his chin is just gone. Neither that or he's not cutting weight properly. I could see that being a factor because he's always looking really shredded. He looks like a really awesome heavyweight, but then he just gets absolutely destroyed. Nate the Train Landwehr, featherweight bout, versus Morgan Charrier out of France. Now, I like Nate as an underdog here. He is one of the best fighters I've seen. He's really good at knocking people out, but his combinations are really smooth and his footwork's good. So I'd say Nate Landwehr is a very good betting favorite in my opinion. Morgan Charrier, his last performance, I didn't care for. It was a decision and it wasn't the best. Now this is the people's main event right here. Featherweight bout, Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. Steve Garcia has been finishing all of his fights in vicious knockouts. I think he's 5-0. But Calvin Kattar's been with Max Holloway. He's been beating some people too. So I would go for Calvin as an underdog, personally, if I was betting. This is not financial advice. Remember that. I'm just saying what I would do. That doesn't mean that I'm going to be right. Sometimes I like to bet with my bias opinions. But I also look at what the athlete has done in their career and who are they training with. That's the biggest thing, is where are their camps at? Where are they training? Who are their training partners? Like, all those things factor in. And my bias is saying Calvin Kattar. This welterweight bout, I like this fight for Wonder Boy. Stephen Thompson, shout out. One of the best welterweights in the world. Beautiful knockouts. He's been submitted by Shavkat most recently and KO'd by Joaquin Buckley. But Gabriel Bonfim, his wrestling isn't as good as he thinks it is. Stephen Thompson used to train with Chris Weidman and GSP. So I would go with Stephen Thompson. He's got more tools to win. He's submitted people before, but he's also knocked people out completely. So I would say I'd pick Wonderboy over Bonfim any day of the week. Then we got the main event, the heavyweight bout, Texeira versus Derek Lewis. Now, this one I really wouldn't bet on. Unless you're going to add it to a parlay and just hope one of them wins. Texeira has been finishing his opponents, but they're mainly all taxi cab drivers. And the same can be said for Derek Lewis. Now, Derek Lewis has been in there with some of the best, though. He's been in there with Daniel Cormier, and he's also been in there with Francis Ngannou. He's been with a lot of good fighters. So I would say Derek Lewis by flying knee. I remember that vicious KO he got back in Utah. Just immediately threw a flying knee and just starched this dude. And that's when I was like, okay, Derek Lewis has the striking. Is he going to show up, or is he just going to show up for the check type thing? Now, that is no shot at Derek Lewis. I love all these fighters. They bleed for us. It's the only sport I watch. I don't have time for NBA or NFL. I don't have time for that. I work a lot, and I just like to follow one sport because at least I can keep up with this sport, you know. So anyways, UFC Fight Night. It'll be starting tomorrow. Let's see what time. 4 p.m. MDT time. So I would say, I like to watch the prelims. So I'll be starting at 4 for sure. But all these fights are awesome fights. And do you guys agree with who I picked? What are your picks in the comments below? If you're a video game fan of mine and you're watching this like, wow, what is he talking about? Give MMA a chance. Give the UFC a chance. Because let me tell you something. Even though a lot of people think it's human cockfighting, there's been moments in this sport that is just beautiful. Like, perfect example, Ilia Topuria knocking out Charles Oliveira. Now, I love Charles Oliveira with all my heart. But when I saw Ilia Topuria and his son was hitting mitts too, and in one of the countdown videos, I was like, man, this is something special. So what I'll say is, even though UFC is a bloody sport, that's the fun in it, is there's so many ways for these fighters to win that it's almost like a street fight in a way. But, you know, unlike the fights in high school and the fights, you know, out in the street, they're not getting killed. You know, there's a referee in there that should stop the fight. Now, there's been times where I've yelled at my TV because the referee's being a ding-dong. But what I'll say is give this sport a chance, because you never know. It might be for you. Anyways, shout out to you, all of you fans out there. If you're watching this for the first time, welcome. I'll be working on the Discord and kind of organizing it. I might even just scrap it. I don't know yet. But what I want is for you guys to follow what I'm passionate about, because I'm passionate about it. I'll be reviewing music, and I'll be producing my own albums, so look out for that. And I'll also be doing video game content. I'm down to hunt with all you guys. If you're Monster Hunter fans, if you're Pokemon fans, let me tell you something. I got so many shiny Pokemon, I just like giving them away. Because I catch them all the time. I mean, I'm always shiny hunting if I'm playing Pokemon. And I like giving them away because it's always fun to look back and say, oh, wow, I got that Growlithe from a buddy of mine. You know, so definitely, if you guys are interested in any of that, please comment down below. Keep an eye out for other video game videos or music videos. And thank you for your support. As always, take care.